So, being a managing director of a company, he decided that he wanted to grab 2 of his staff to save costs for a team building training to get them to have courage in doing things. So he was thinking, what better way to train them this way other than going for a skydiving exercise. So before getting their consent, he decided to do it. He called the GM to follow him. The GM had no choice but to follow him to the airport. Called the junior staff and asked him to follow him as well. But the junior staff exclaimed and said, boss, I'm on the way to send my children to school, I have no time for all these things. But he said, I'm the boss, no if, no but, you have to come right now. So the staff, being junior staff, he had no choice but to grab the wife and grab the children, grab everybody in the car and rush all the way to the airport. When they reached the airport, the boss exclaimed, you are late. Quickly bring all the bags, all these parachute bags, and go stuff it into the airplane, and we have to go right now. But the staff say, but boss, I have to say goodbye to my children. No, you don't mind. Bring all the bags. Then so the staff, no choice but to bring all the bags and put it into the airplanes, and off they go. Halfway through, at the mid-air, suddenly the pilot came out from the cockpit and then grabbed hold of one of the parachute bags and then strapped on it and said to them, he said, gentlemen, I have good news and bad news for you. Good news is the airplane is still flying. Bad news is the airplane is now leaking oil. The petrol is getting less. And at the height that we are flying, we have no choice. We cannot land anymore. It will crash in 5 to 10 minutes time. So being a pilot, at this moment, is of no use to you. I cannot save your life. I myself save my own life. And then before I can tell you, I have bad news for you. I've forgotten to bring my own parachute because I never expected this thing to happen. And then therefore, I had to take one of your parachutes. And off he went and he jumped. So if you are the boss, if you are 3 of you left with a situation like that, what would you do? How will you make decision like that? This is exactly what we want to discuss, making decision. But it's too technical for me. Give me an example. Welcome back. How do they make decision in such a situation like that? So being the managing director, being the most important person in the whole world, the boss took one of the parachute bag, strapped onto him, and then he start talking. He said, guys, look here. I'm the managing director of the company. I'm supposed to be one of the most important person in the company. If I die today, the whole company collapses and many lives will also suffer with it. So I have to go. I have to be the one to be safe. So, but then when he was about to jump, then the junior staff stopped him and said, boss, but wait. He said, don't talk to me. The boss exclaimed, I'm the boss. I tell you what to do. You listen. Even when in this manner, you still have to listen to me. No if, no but. So he took the bags and then he started jumping. Off he went. So next, left 2 of them with 1 parachute left. So being a GM and happened to be a Christian, he was contemplating, he was struggling. Should I, save his life or should I save my life? Suddenly, the junior staff started talking. He said, hey boss, why are you so panicked? They said, of course, we only have 1 parachute left. He said, no, we have 2 parachute bags left. He said, how come? Don't be crazy. We have 1. We took 3. 1 taken by the pilot, 1 taken by boss. Now only left 1. How can you say 2? He said, then the junior staff exclaimed, that's what I'm trying to tell our managing director. Out of chaotic situation just now, I brought my child's bag with me. And the one he took was my child's school bag. That's why he jumped. Is that how we make decision when it comes to situation like that? How do you make decision? That's what today's topic is all about. It's called planning and decision making. Now, before we go into that, we want to actually recap what we have actually shared with you for our previous videos. We talk about 4 activities directed into 4 resources to achieve one thing in two ways. Now we call it 4-4-1-2 for easy remembrance. Those four activities that we shared about. Number one is planning and decision making. Number two, organizing. Number three, leading. And number four is called controlling. Now, with these four activities, we directed at four resources. What are those four resources? Number one, human resource, financial resource, physical resource, and information resource. To do what? To do one thing, that is to achieve goals. Then, of course, to do it in two ways, which is effective and efficient. So when you go into a company and check what happened to them, these are the 4-4-1-2 formulas that we shared with you, is for you to use it to check what happened to them. And coming back to this planning and activities, as I just mentioned, planning and decision makings cannot go without one of the most important thing is called goal setting. In fact, these are the three things come together in one set. You cannot do planning and decision making without goal setting. You cannot do goal setting without planning and decision making. But the question is, which comes first? Well, to us, normally we will actually be careful when we advise people like this. We will rather get them to make up their mind first. What are the things that you want to do? But having said so, when we say what are the decisions that you want to make, it has to actually come out supported with enough information given to them so that they can make wise decision and accurate decision. So let's come back to goal setting. It is a very interesting topic to talk about. I'm sure most of us will know what is goal setting. The exercise of setting goals is like it has to be specific, it has to be attainable, it has to be measurable, it has to be exciting, it has to have time frame, and so forth. These are the areas I'm not going to talk about it. I'm sure most of us will know and how to do the exercise. But most of us will not really actually think what is the purpose of doing goal setting. In fact, whenever we go into a medium-sized, family-run, very Asian-based company, if you talk to them about goal setting, the bosses will look at you at one kind. They probably think you're wasting my time, you're wasting my staff time. Why spend 1 week of their time and then go in a resort, pay them for doing nothing just to set goal? Our company purpose of setting goal, our company goal is very clear, just to make more money. So one of the reasons, the most important reason, is to give guidance and directions. Today's market, due to this pandemic, COVID-19, most of the company, be it big or small, their goal is very simple. By the end of this year, now it's September 2020, by end of this year, they have to survive so that they can continue next year. Simple facts, right? Most companies will face this problem. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. In fact, with this goal, this is called goal. This is the reason, the purpose of doing this exercise is to give direction and to give guidance. Everybody is to channel their efforts so that this year is to survive, do whatever you can, sell it cheap, sell it more, whatever it is, just to get it across so that it can continue next year. That's goal setting to me. To us, that's goal setting. It's only wrong if you were to do it on a yearly basis. Every year you just do it for survival, then something wrong with the company. Is to promote good planning. I'll give you an example. If today were to travel from Penang Island to go to Butterworth, do you need to get your GM to discuss with you so that you can know how to drive your car from Penang Bridge A to the other end of Penang Bridge? Of course not, right? It's just a short distance. All you probably have to do is just to know what time to avoid the traffic jam and then move on. But today we're to discuss about, I want to travel the world 7 rounds in your lifetime. Then the planning will be more extensive. The involvement of elements of all those things have to be more. Example, how much you're going to spend, how long you're going to take, which country you want to visit first, right? And every time you go down there, the passport and how you're going to get your visas, and how about your companies, who's going to run your companies for you, and so forth and so forth. It involves a lot more planning. So if you have short-term, small things to do, yeah, you're right, you probably don't have to do planning. But if you want your company to do well for the next 5 years, 10 years, so even you can even pass on to your next generations, you can pass the baton to the next one to take care of it, to grow your business to a next level, to find a breakthrough, then all this needs planning. The purpose of setting goal is to motivate people. And I find it very interesting when every time we do this exercise with a lot of companies, when they do this goal setting, without knowing it, actually they are demotivating their staff. Give you examples. If last year you will do well, you were doing like maybe in your sales team example, your sales team did 30% growth last year. What will be your this year goal for next year? COVID-19 didn't come in, you probably will set at least 30% growth or 40% growth, right? It's better than last year, man. So everybody starts setting goals like on top of whatever you do. If you do well last year, if you did well last year, this year you get even more goals. If you achieve it, the goal this year, next year even more. Year after next, even more. You will keep on topping it out. Correct or not, boss? You probably will do that. You do until one day or one fine day, your staff will tell you, boss, I had enough. This is impossible. Setting goals is an art and it's also science. It is not just, you can do, give them motivation talk. No, it's not. It is, as we mentioned it just now casually, is that it must be exciting, it must be achievable, it must be measurable, right? All these things has to come in. It has to even tie in with the reward system that you have. If today you were to tell your staff next year we're going to grow 50%, but if you were to tell them, in order for you to achieve 50% growth, our company will come up with 100% extra budget to do marketing activities so that you can achieve the 50%. Then I think to them it's exciting, right? But if you do it otherwise, because last year you did 30%, therefore this year you have to do 50% without any increment on our budget on marketing activities. But you have to do it. But I give you motivation talk. Yes, you can. Oh yeah. Is that going to help? No, I don't think so. But if you know how to do it, it's actually a good investment of time. Now we come into these topics, which is called the 4 levels of goal setting, which we believe this is very important because these 4 levels of goal setting involve 4 categories of people to do the goal setting. In fact, the first one is called vision and mission. And the first ever one to do it is actually the boss. You as the boss of the company, the directors of the company, you set the visions for the company. In fact, vision and mission are the foundations of the company. It is the pointing north of a company, in other words. It's become a compass. Every time when the company is tossed around because of problems that they face, they run out of direction, they don't know what to do, they always fall back to this foundation. What was the purpose from the beginning that this company was set up? And who's going to set that vision? Is it going to be the junior staff who's going to give it to you, the vision? No, it is always the boss. You are the one who set up this company. You have the passion, you have the compassion for it. You have even the aspiration about this company, how it should become, where it should go. That's from you. In fact, the Bible says, when there is no vision, people perish. And this biblical truth not only applies to the Christians, but it also applies to every aspect of our life. Especially when you run a company. If your company has no visions at all, and as a boss of a company, you do not provide visions for the company, who's going to provide? People's going to run ad hoc, they don't know where to go. They just can go anywhere and they will pull everybody around, with different directions. This vision. Vision is actually a picture in your head, in your heart, that you want this company to become in the next future. It's not a short term, it's not next year. It can be something that you can even pass on as a legacy about your company. Your vision should not be just making a lot of money and then so I pass it to the next generation or my children. No, that's not your vision. That could be your desire, but not the vision for the company, right? From you, what you have in your mind, in your mindset, what you're going to be for the next 20, 30 years about this company, and then you start writing it down into a mission statement. I give you an example, what's called mission statement. We know of a company, a food industry company, and they have this vision, the mission statements called touching life. What do you think? Does that mean anything to you? Does it touch your heart? Wow, fantastic company. Or it means nothing to you, right? Because so therefore, mission statement should have a few criteria. These are the few criteria that we're going to share with you. It should include when you do a mission statement. It should have a scope or category of the market you want to go into, the type of customers that you want to tap on, and also the products, the core product or services that you want to provide. It can be even geological areas that your company want to put footing on, and even the technologies that you can provide to service the customers. So the same question I asked, if your company is to have a mission statement called Touching Life, if your Touching Life mission statement is to do it onto a company called Counseling Company, where you counsel people who are in trouble, when you counsel people who are mentally ill and need your help, then Touching Life can become very powerful and meaningful for a mission statement, isn't it? Because that's what your company is doing, to touch life. Next level is called strategic goal or strategic planning. This is where your top management guy, this is going to take these visions or mission statement, translate it into their goals for the company as a whole now. Now, with that vision that you're providing them, then they can quite clearly stating what their goals are for the next 5 years or 10 years for this company, because the vision that you have for them, the vision, the goals start from you. The first level is always very important. And I find it very interesting, most companies don't do that. Or even if they have it, they don't translate it out, they don't say it out. It's always in the heart of the boss. And the boss getting old and he forgot what his vision was in the first place. Or rather, his vision changed from time to time. That's not right. And then from there, with the strategic goal and plans that they have, then it can translate down into your middle management, which is the third level. It's called tactical planning or tactical goal. And then from there, the middle management, after they pass it down, they can pass it down to your operational junior staff or junior manager or supervisor. Right, having said that, now it's quite rather easy to talk about planning now, because planning is actually translate all those goal setting and all those things into a blueprint. Is to say it out, what are the things that you want to do, how you're going to do, when you're going to do, who's going to do it. And it always targets to what? The 4 resources that we have. After you have goal setting, you always go back to the 4 resources that we have. You always go back to what? To human resources. When you plan, you have to rethink of who are going to involve, how many people is going to involve. Number 2 is finance resource, right? How much is it going to cost? How fast can we get it back? And things like that. And then what a physical resource, right? The physical resource, are we able to do it? Do we have these physical things to be able to churn out our products, our services? And the 4th one will be the data, the information resource. Do we have enough information for us to plan accordingly? So the next question is, when you plan or when you strategize, will there have any conflict? Or does all departments have to have the same goal setting? Everybody same goal? Not right, because the finance department will take your strategy plans or your strategic goal into their financial strategic plan or tactical plan, right? And then HR will be different, their figures will be different, right? And then their sales team will be different and things like that. But all of them will go in line with the company's strategic plan or goal setting. Then having said that, can it be any conflict? I give you an example. Today, your production line could be saying that, we will increase the production into 5,000 shoes every day. Last time we used to produce 2,000 shoes in a day. So now we're gonna, make it cheap, produce it fast. So we do 5,000 shoes every day. Is it good? That could be good because that's your goal, to sell it cheap and sell it more. It could be your goal. But the shoes that you're producing is out of style. Nobody buying anymore. It's bad for your marketing department, isn't it? So when you have this conflict, normally what do? They do this compromising. They compromise. Okay lah, I 50%, I take less, 50% you take more, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Is that the best way to do things? Or another way is, who is more articulate, who is better to present their case, so they are able to convince the rest to follow them. Is that the best way? Or the last way will be, who is the boss, who has a higher rank officer in their midst. No, the best way to do it is called optimizing. Now, what is optimizing? I'm not going to go through it. I'm sure if you Google it out, there'll be formulas to tell you. There'll be discrepancies, how you calculate and things like that. In fact, if you do Excel, you can even do it. If you don't know how, you can always contact us. Or if not, you can always contact your finance officer, your department, IT department. Most of them will be able to help you out with optimizing. But is that the only way to do it? No. There are more ways and better ways that we can offer to help. We can come up with a lot of reports, a lot of charts for you to be able to analyze it and to get the best way to do it, to capitalize on what you have. Well, we come to the end of the session, and hopefully you will have some understanding, some basic understanding about planning, strategy, and things like that. The next one we want to talk about will be the 4 activities that we touch about planning and activities. The next one we're going to talk about organizing. So we hope to see you next time, and keep watching. Bye bye. Thank you.